Oh, it's gonna get chilly.
Estamos en una de las 60 catacumbas de las cuales están 5 abiertas al público y las mayores son
Oh, it's going to be colder inside those galleries. Okay, guys. I just wanted to point out to you. This particular church this catacomb is the only one that has a church included. They organize mass normally, like in any other church. And this particular church was dedicated to Nereus and Achilleus, two Praetorian guards who got converted to Christianity. Okay? And they got converted to Christianity, and for this reason they got martyred. I can explain with gestures. The two sarcophagi that you see there are original, and they were taken out from there, from the galleries. All right? Follow me.
What are all the pieces on the wall?
The pieces are pieces of marble that were taken out from the...
I know.
So that's three groups that came out. There are two that came out. I was calculating in my mind. I know I'm terrible.
It's okay.
Six.
How many people?
This is cool.
Lost people now?
No.
No?
No, I don't lose.
Look at it's a secret door.
In the church section, there were a whole heap of sections where it's just a little hole. Oh, sorry, was there anything placed there originally?
I'll tell you about it. Because
Excellent,
that
thank
lady
you.
spoke, and it would be useless for me to scream. She
Oh, yeah,
spoke
yeah.
on the mic in Spanish, which I do understand and speak fluently, so in my mind it's like... But we're going to come back exactly the same way, so whichever question comes to your mind about the church, we're going to just kind of be going in a circle, basically. All right, guys, everybody okay? So welcome to the galleries of Catacombs of Domitilla. As I said before, that church was dedicated to Nereus and Achilleus, two Praetorian guards who got converted to Christianity, in case you didn't hear. I'm just repeating. And it's one of the few, or actually the only catacomb that has a church within the complex. Now, and as we're going up, just all those marbles that you saw, they were taken down from here by that person that was Giovanni Battista de Rossi. He started collecting all the marble slabs and also putting them together because people would come in here and take pieces of it. I know. Now, so the first thing we needed to have was a dead Christian. Necessary in order to bury them. So the person would be wrapped in a white linen shroud, would be placed in here, naked. No, that's why they didn't have all those riches that people thought that they had, like rich garments with gold.
Yeah.
There was none of that, so that's why I'm saying that. And on top of it, there will be a marble slab. Or, if the person could not afford marble, would use travertine. Travertine is cheaper, has impurities inside. It's a cheaper type of marble. Now, in the first and the second century, and this one I found out recently in an article, there were no writings. You remember that passage in the Bible that says, I wouldn't call you by name? Your names are written in the book of life. They believed that God knew all their names. The problem is, the remaining family members did not remember where they got buried. And if you didn't have a name or a sign or anything, you wouldn't know where to go. Now, starting in the third century, they started making the signs and writing the name and the date of death. All right? So in the 3rd century AD. Now, this particular arched, you see over there, they are arched. They're called arcosolium. Arco, even nowadays in Italian, means arch. So arcosolium means the arched tomb would be, if you wanted to translate it. Now, all the people that after the 5th century, all the barbarians would come in here and started destroying everything because they thought there was something behind the marble slab. And all the little marble slabs that you saw on the walls, they're collected by Giovanni Battista de Rossi, and you have writings or designs that were left, but sometimes just little tiny pieces. The holes. Now, if you looked at the ceiling, I'm sure you noticed that that's not a very old ceiling. And I cannot lie to you, it was made in the 1st or 2nd century AD because it would be a lie. In the year 896, there was a big earthquake and the ceiling collapsed. The original ceiling of this church. And what happened was they built, this is rather new, they built from a certain level up, and apparently all those holes that you see were from the original wooden beams that would be part of the ceiling. The original ceiling. Yeah. But the ceiling was just a little bit taller than those columns that you saw. Those are original. All the top, it's new. And I think if anybody, especially the gentlemen, if there are anything in the brickwork, they see it's new. Now, who would have the job to dig this place out?
This way.
No. Be a job like any other.
No.
Fossores.
No.
The fossa, in Italian nowadays, means ditch hole. So the fossores would be grave diggers. And I do not know about their benefits or anything like that, but definitely they'll be coming here and using these little tiny lamps, and I'm going to show it to you right in a moment. As we go through that tunnel, you're going to see it on the left-hand side on display, filled with olive oil, and it would last 2 hours. They would come in here and start digging in the stone. You can touch it. This is called tufa stone. The tuff stone is volcanic in origin, and it's softer when you start digging and gets harder in time in contact with air.
Cool.
Okay? Why do we have volcanic rock and rock? Now, let me ask you this. Some of you did the Pompeii tour, so you should know that. Because there were this area, you don't care?
No, I said there were volcanoes.
There were volcanoes. There were volcanoes. All the Rome area was surrounded by active volcanoes. So I'm talking about 10,000, 20,000 years ago. I'm not talking about yesterday or 2,000 years ago. We're talking about tens of thousands. If you go around Rome, even 20 kilometers out, which is like 13 miles out of the city, you see all these lakes created in the crater of all volcanoes. So that's why everything underneath Rome is more or less like this. Which, unfortunately, in contact with water doesn't make it very stable. Unfortunately. So you cannot have everything. Now, as we go, come with me, and you'll see on the left-hand side the little tiny lamps, okay? Are you ready? Mind your head, okay? Here we go. I know. This one also has some deep iron in there.
It's like a dark room. I hope no one's epileptic. Look at, they go all the way down. They buried it all the way up there. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's cool. And all these little spots will just pass. Oh yeah. And then this stuff.
I wanted to bring you that one was just going through, but I'm in here. Come on now, you've never been to this guy get the glow. Guys, you can come closer. Just don't fall into here. Here.
It's not a wishing well.
No, it's not. All right, I just wanted to bring you in this because it would be a little bit more clear how the places, how the bodies were put in here. So this would belong to a family. This would be an arcosolium, 2, 3. So a whole family would be buried. And most of you, somebody asked me about the little tiny tombs. They belong to the children. Look how many they have. Unfortunately, mortality rate, infant mortality rate back in the day was quite high. We're looking at almost 80% of the kids under the age of 5 died. That's why the ladies had a lot of children also.
I'm good. I'm good.
I know the thing was this, and most of the Christians, and maybe this is something that you didn't know, some of the noble Romans men, if they didn't like their children, they will dispose of them.
They kill them like cats do.
No. They don't kill them. They just dispose of them. And usually they will leave them on the stairs of a temple. And if you read Middle Age stories from the Middle Ages, some of the children will be put into these baskets in the church. And the nuns, or the nuns usually, they will turn the basket and get the child. This will be in the Middle Ages. But back in the Roman time, all the Christians would collect the kids that nobody wanted.
They're Christian.
They're a Christian, and they will teach them about Jesus, his teachings. But the problem was, even the Christian children, they were exposed to the same infections and germs and everything that was going on as all the other children. So that's why you have huge families. I mean, huge, all these little tiny. This is called a loculus. Loculus, or loculi in plural. Arcosolium. This unit, this burial unit, will be called a cubiculum, which is the root word for the word cubicle. So just
I feel bad for all you guys who are working on
so you're like, so you know when you go back to work, what's the root word of your working place?
I really just feel like you're giving a little
I handle it for 6 months, the cubiculum, and then out. I'd rather be in a real cubiculum like this where people were buried than there. But that's my personal choice. And you see, if you imagine, you have to really use your imagination. This will be all frescoed with columns.
They were wealthy.
Yes.
So this is carved, and the ceilings are carved, or?
Yes, by hand. You see all this?
Yeah.
This is like pickaxe.
Wow.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So these are the markings from the pickaxe?
Yeah, absolutely. The ceiling would be frescoed, and this is one of the best preserved ones in the sense that it hasn't all fallen off, although. But you see the moisture in everything has damaged a lot, like this. If you have any questions, hold them in your mind, because I will tell them to you. Pay attention not to get hurt. All right?
This is so cool.
Yes, but sir, are you okay? Are you sure? You just smile a lot. And I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Come on in here, ladies. There's place for everybody. I can fit 21 people in here, so you're 16. Look at this. This, everybody, it's possibly the most important fresco you'll ever see, and I'll tell you why. It's mid-3rd century, never restored, and it's probably the clearer image you're going to get of Jesus now being on a throne. Have a look. In the arch, there's Jesus with the apostles.
Down for you guys.
Okay. No, you see? This image of Jesus teaching to the apostles is not the Holy Supper. And this is as close as you can get to the times when Jesus lived. So mid-3rd century is like, what is the 400s?
And it's never been touched or anything.
No, not this one.
Totally joking, but can I touch it?
No, because there's a camera right behind you.
How is that light's not damaging it?
It is damaging it.
Yeah.
It is damaging
Oh,
it.
wow.
And all the pictures of flash, it's taking 10 minutes off the life of a fresco, in
Yeah.
case you're wondering. Anyways, now, these are the apostles, and just bear in mind the way they are dressed. You see those pool sandals? Does it look like anything you've seen before?
Nope, not me.
Well, they look like those whipping things that they threw on their backs.
Yeah, well, no, but it was like they wore these robes that are very poor. I'm asking you this because when we go to St. Clement, I want you to tell me what's the difference between this, even the way they were dressed and represented, and what you see there. It's very important. And part of the decoration, you get Peter and Paul. You see? Peter and Paul. Peter is the rock upon which I'm going to build my church. Everybody wanted you know who was Peter? The first bishop and the first pope. So if you're living in the early Christian times, you would want Peter part of your tablecloth. It was so important. And in the middle, can you see anything there in the middle?
Cross.
There's the image of a woman.
I see your face.
Yes?
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
That's the image of the woman who commissioned this fresco for herself.
And how do you know all that? I'm just, how do we?
They found some records of it,
Something.
okay? And in there, you see, those look like two crows, but don't worry, they're doves. Okay? And over there you have a place where you have some olive oil or incense, because it smelled in here. You know it smelled. It smelled really bad. And this is not very deep, so it's a woman who is buried here. Probably her plaque is somewhere in that church, not that we know exactly which one, but it was a woman, you see? All right. Hello.
So pretty.
I go. All right, you guys. Go this way and turn left. Left, sir, left. Yeah, you're doing very well. Tomorrow you can do the tour yourself. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Very much. That's all right. The painting.